Okay, Captain, we reached our destination. Orders? Send away team. Okay. So we've got Cass, who's going to give us some diplomacy, some science. We've got 3 stats to cut out. We've got Starfleet, which I assume is going to be some kind of... If I hover it, does it tell me what the skill is? No. But we want to get Tuvok. He covers most things. Then we just need to get B'Elanna. She's going to cover engineering. We've got all of our recommended traits and everything as well, so nothing to worry about there. Upon materializing near the tunnel entrance, a group of Kazon is already there, twinkling with the security barrier in frustration. As soon as they notice the away team, they flinch in fear and back off a bit. "Watch out," shouts one of them. "The foreign warriors are back." "Captain, the Kazon seem hesitant, almost fearful. What are our orders?" So unfortunately, both of our options are kind of shit here. So we can bluff to open fire if they don't retreat, count to 3, or we can ignore the Kazon and proceed directly to the tunnel entrance. I think ignoring them is the better option, but I think either way we're going to fail to some degree. Yeah, look at that. It's way more efficient for us to just ignore them. And it's just a failure as well, just. The away team's bold move takes the Kazon by surprise. Few confused Kazon fire warning shots, but quickly cease fire when the away team shows no reaction. The Kazon make no further attempts to interfere as the away team enters the tunnel. "Captain, we've reached the tunnel entrance. Using the transporter signal amplifier now to find possible breaches in the security barrier." So we can use the amplifier to locate breaches in the barrier, use the amplifier to locate breaches in the barrier. Excellent choice there, but we'll take B'Elanna because she's going to get a critical success for us. Or at least I thought she was. The away team deploys the transporter signal amplifier, carefully scanning the barrier for any vulnerabilities. After a tense few minutes, they locate a small breach in the energy field. They successfully transport themselves through the opening and into the tunnel. Beyond the barrier, the tunnel opens to a breathtaking sight. Embedded into a large cavern, a futuristic environment with smooth white walls emerges in front of the away team, glowing in a warm white light and littered with patches of green. The Ocampa City. "Captain, we're inside the Ocampa City, but it's a maze of streets and chambers. How should we proceed to find Tom and Chakotay?" So we can let Cass lead the search, or we can conduct a systematic search of the city. It seems like a no-brainer to let Cass take the lead. And that is a success. Cass approaches a group of Ocampa, respectfully asking for assistance in locating the missing Tom and Chakotay. The Ocampa, touched by her concern, eagerly provide directions to a medical facility. The away team eventually finds the crew members awake but disorientated, surrounded by strange medical equipment. Chakotay instinctively reaches for a weapon, but before any confrontation can occur, the ground starts to shake violently. A message from Captain Janeway cuts through the joy of reunion. The caretaker array has apparently repositioned itself and is now firing at the tunnel entrance. We need to get out of here. So we can lead the away team through the collapsing tunnels, or we can clear a path through any debris and obstacle. It seems like a no-brainer to do that. That is going to be a success, whereas that's going to give the option for failure. This is why we brought Tuvok for his mad skills. The away team clears a path through the collapsing tunnels, using their phasers to blast away debris and create a safe passage. They dodge falling rocks and collapsing ceilings, ensuring everyone escapes safely. Soon, they reach the exit, the security barrier the only thing standing between them and their escape. The tremors are interfering with the signal amplifier's focus, Captain. The connection is constantly being interrupted. We can't beam out like this. So we can stabilize the transporter signal amplifier by adjusting its frequency and modulation, which is quite heavily guaranteed to be a critical success, or we can analyze the tremor's interference pattern and recalibrate the transporter signal amplifier accordingly. It seems like variations of the same thing, and obviously we can get everyone to do it for a success, but there's no need because we can just get B'Elanna to do it. Critically successful. Working quickly, the away team adjusts the transporter signal amplifier's frequency and modulation, compensating for the tremors. The transporter signal stabilizes, allowing the away team to lock onto the beam and materialize safely back on the Voyager. Mission complete. 2 critical successes, so extra experience there. Tuvok and B'Elanna now at level 3. And we've recruited Chakotay. Unexpected allies. Back on Voyager, Tom Paris breathes a sigh of relief while Chakotay eyes his Starfleet rescuers with suspicion. The Marquis commander struggles to understand the sudden alliance. Captain Chakotay, welcome aboard Voyager. I'm Catherine Janeway, and Mr. Paris, it's good to have my pilot back. What? No champagne? Not even the replicated... I'm Commander Chokay of the Marquis. Torres, what's going on here? Long story, Chakotay. Short version, we're stuck with Federation sycophants in the Delta Quadrant. Sycophants is such a good word. And we share a common goal, getting back home. Anything you have learned on the planet could help us. So we can ask if you know why they were sent to the Acamper, ask what they learned about the Acamper, ask what they learned about the Caretaker, which I think we'll do. Did you learn anything about the Caretaker? They say he's been acting out of the ordinary lately, abducting people. And he increased their power supply to half a decade. And he destroyed the tunnels. It sounds like he's preparing for something. But what? See what they learned about the Acamper. What can you tell us about the Acamper? Naive, friendly, they don't get out much. And that's good because they wouldn't survive. Apparently, they've been living underground for longer than anyone can remember. That's true. Our ancestors lived on the surface once. Ancient journals tell us the Caretaker opened a deep chasm and led us underground. Any idea why? They mentioned warming? The day our surface turned into a desert. On that day the Caretaker appeared and built our city. Since then he has provided for the Acamper to ensure their survival. Say again, Lieutenant Tuvok. There is enough evidence for me to form a reasonable hypothesis, Captain. The Acamper homeworld turned into a desert from one day to the next. The Caretaker's immediate arrival seems to be no coincidence. I assume he is responsible for the ecological damage. Building the underground city and caring for them, he seems to be trying to make amends. In addition, Ensign Kim mentioned that the Caretaker provided the Acamper with mere 5 years' worth of energy. Coupled with the destruction of the access tunnels, and his frequent references to running out of time, the logical conclusion is that he does not intend to continue his role as Caretaker. I believe he is dying. If he dies, how the hell are we supposed to get home? Ask if they know why they were sent to Acamper. The Caretaker mentioned that you might have what he needs. Can you make any sense of that? We woke up covered in scabs. The Acamper said they were sent away to prevent some kind of plague. Except we weren't sick before. They also mentioned others with the same disease, but they didn't last. They died. I want you both in sickbay, now. Captain, their condition is unusual. It appears to be a cellular disruption caused by the introduction of foreign genetic material. Their bodies are rejecting it, rather violently I might add. They're fortunate. A few more days and the cellular disruption would have been fatal. Foreign genetic material? For what purpose? An excellent question, Commander. It appears to have been introduced deliberately. though why anyone will want to inject them with incompatible DNA is beyond my comprehension. Prognosis, Doctor? I've already started the treatment. With my expertise, they should make a full recovery. The Doctor's discovery further confirms my hypothesis, Captain. Aware of his imminent death, the caretaker is enacting measures to safeguard the Okompa for as long as possible. However, they will run out of energy eventually, so he seeks a successor, one who would continue his work. This explains the abduction and subsequent testing of individuals from various sectors. If he dies before finding a suitable successor, we'll be stranded. We have to return to the array before it's too late. Captain, given the caretaker's reluctance to cooperate, a more assertive approach may be necessary. The Vulcan's right. If that overgrown energy blob won't send us home, we'll blast our way out. Phasers, torpedoes, the whole shebang. I believe a bit of tactical planning is in order. Shields first, then phasers. Again, I'm ahead of you, ma'am. I know what we're doing. Our offensive and defensive capabilities have been restored, Captain. We're as ready as we'll ever be. Let us show this quadrant what we're really made of. I actually did like that animation. That was nice. I don't think I'd actually seen that before. Probably been various screens and frozen while I've travelled, but that was nice. I like that. So we've reached our destination. Orders, Captain. Let's continue. It seems we were expected, Captain. Mr. Kazon, the lead ship is hailing us. They're probably not calling to chat. I'll have our Marquis Raider manned. You'll have support if this turns into a fight, Captain. Excellent idea, but let's see what the Kazon have to say first. Why are you here? Do you truly believe you can defeat us? All we care about is getting home, Jabin. We'll beam over to the array and see if we can arrange that. That's all? After your display of firepower? We don't fear you, but we are not fools. We have no dispute with you. Then leave. The array is ours. This is absurd. We have no intention of challenging you. The array is mine. Leave or face my wrath. Jabin, can we discuss this like two civilized... He's disconnected, Captain, and they're powering up their weapons. Battle stations. That's how the alarms go. I do hope it is there. Each combat encounter, you may choose up to 3 heroes to utilize their specific strengths and abilities. Click on the plus symbols to select new heroes. Okay, so we've got USS Voyager and the Marquis Raider. 85 power for Voyager, 51 for the Marquis, 32 for the carrier, 12 for the support vessels. Let's select some heroes. Warp core overcharge, coordinated attack, and shield hacking. Start combat. The Voyager will fight semi-autonomously. Phasers are fired automatically, torpedoes manually. You control the ship by opening the command menu and deciding how to approach the enemy. What are your orders, Captain? Order your ship to try and attack or defend a side with either defensive or offensive movement. Fleeing requires enemy engines to be damaged, while surrendering costs resources as a form of payment. You can also repair damaged subsystems. Proceed to offensive movement. Offensive actions. Let's target their weapons. Oh, okay, we're flying the ship. In battle, the hero's abilities can be activated by either selecting them with the mouse or pressing the number keys. A blue countdown indicates that the ability is activated, while a white countdown shows the cooldown time until the ability is ready for use again. For more detailed information about the effects of the abilities, hover over the respective. So, torpedoes have to be fired manually, shift key or left trigger on controller. They're very powerful weapons, causing great damage to systems and hull. However, their effect is negligible against shields, so make sure you fire from the right angle. Okay, take down the side shields. Okay, they've surrendered. Let's take down the warp core. Fire torpedoes. Right. Okay. I don't know if it was my laptop or if it's just a bit of finickiness with the combat there. I wasn't quite sure how the ship was being controlled. It seems as if it's maybe just autopilots around whatever ship you have targeted, but it did feel like moving the camera and using some of the controls seemed to also direct the ship a little bit, so it was a bit, it didn't feel like it was controlling right. It felt like something was off. The combat does seem fairly basic. It's just selecting a ship to attack, selecting a subsystem to attack, and then firing torpedoes when the shields are down. It's not necessarily bad. I can imagine it getting quite hectic in later scenarios where you're trying to juggle multiple different ships and take out systems so you can most effectively take out each vessel. But yeah, I mean, from the tutorial one, it was kind of odd. I think it's going to take a little bit of maybe getting used to. I do also think that combat system is also potentially going to be quite finicky to manage on console as well. That went better than expected. Our radar is still in good shape. I'll keep it close by just in case more Kazon decide to show up. You are strong, Captain, but there is strength in numbers. I have called for reinforcements. This array will be mine. Okay, we're going to go for round 2 of combat. Impossible. I've barely enough strength to complete my work. I must protect the Acompa. If I don't, the Kazon will steal their water. They won't be able to survive. Okay, we can do some optional. We can confront him with what he did. Something you did turned their planet into a desert, didn't it? That was the debt that could never be repaid. It is also annoying that me clicking isn't moving things, and so it's skipping to choice because it thinks I'm holding it down. Again, that's probably just my laptop being absolute garbo. So I do apologise. It may have skipped some dialogue along the way. We were explorers from another galaxy. We had no idea our technology would devastate their atmosphere. 2 of us were chosen to stay behind and care for them. Two, where's the other? She went off to look for more interesting places. You must let go of the Acompa. Did you ever consider allowing the Acompa to care for themselves? See, it registers the holding to skip. But it does not want to pick up the clicks. Children grow up. They need challenges. Maybe the Acampa are stronger than you think. Again, it skipped. I was clicking and it just... I generally don't know if that's me or the game. I'm going to give the game the benefit of the doubt and say that it's either my laptop or my mouse. It's weird that it's I don't know, it's just not great. But anyway, send us home. You've dragged us into this. You need to send us... So you lose it. This is not very dramatic. Captain, Jabin wasn't bluffing. His reinforcements have arrived. What is right and what is easy? The caretaker fades away, collapsing into an inert crystalline form. Janeway is now faced with an impossible choice. Return home to the Alpha Quadrant, leaving the Acompa defenseless, or sacrifice Voyager's return to ensure their safety. The clock is ticking. He's gone. Captain, the Kazon are closing in. Shall I try to access primary control systems and send us back? Okay, so this is where we're going to have to make the choice to end, basically, I think. Because I think this demo does just go to the end of the first episode, which is a decision to destroy and continue on the journey, or to send us home. I am absolutely certain that accessing the primary control systems to send us home is just going to end the game. So we're going to destroy the array. Your choice has consequences. We were never asked to be involved, but we are. I won't trade the lives of the Acompa for our convenience. Lieutenant Tuvok, ready the Tricobalt devices. What are you doing? The array's our only way out of here. You can't. I can, and I will. Tricobalt devices are ready, Captain. Fire. See, the mouse works perfectly fine there, so it does make me wonder if it's maybe the game, or just like my laptop in general. I feel like I've complained about my laptop a lot in the second half of this video, so apologies for sticking with me through just lots of complaining. Fire! We'll find another way home, I promise. Who do you think you are, making the decisions for all of us? It was the right decision, B'Elanna. The Acompa, they reminded me of my own people. We were fighting for a more powerful enemy to protect our own. The Acompa deserve that too. 72,000 light years. We're really stranded, aren't we? Great. Now I'll definitely miss my next Outmeet review. A missed behaviour review should not be your primary concern at the moment, Mr. Paris. Ah, thanks, Tuvok. I hadn't thought about that. Jabin is hailing us, Captain. You have made an enemy today. Mr. Paris, put some distance between us and this place. Voyager's hull can be damaged in combat, dialogues, special phenomena, or if the main deflector is offline. If the hull integrity reaches 0, Voyager will be destroyed and the game is over. The hull doesn't regenerate by itself. To repair the hull, assign a work team in the engineering office. Okay, so we finally get to see where the hull's at. We're repairing, so it's not too much of a worry for us, but there we go. So let's fly to the third system, as the game is asking us to do. We can scan, but let's just set sail. The caretaker is dead. To prevent the Kazon from seizing control of his array, I was forced to destroy it. Jabin, leader of the Kazon Ogla, has predictably declared Voyager an enemy. We are now truly stranded in the Delta Quadrant with a hostile Kazon sect on our tail. We should put some distance between ourselves and this disastrous encounter as possible. I think that should be as soon as possible, but that's cool. We should put some distance between ourselves and this disastrous encounter as, yeah, that's missing soon. So let's see what this asteroid has got to say for us. 70,000 light years from home. It seems we're in this together, Commander. Your decision didn't win you any friends. Kazon, Maquis, and Starfleet. But I respect you for it. Their anger is justified, but we have more pressing concerns. 2 crews on 1 ship, stranded in the Delta Quadrant, fighting for survival. I know a thing or two about survival. The Maquis are a motley crew. We had to learn to put our differences aside and work together to coexist. Coexist, hmm? Well, Commander, I'd like to offer you the position of Voyager's first officer. First officer? You're willing to trust a Maquis with that responsibility? I'm learning to adapt. This is a new beginning, a chance to forge a new path. Together. Neelix, Kess, you wanted to see me? Do you need anything else before you leave? Supplies, water, medicine? Well, that's what we wanted to discuss. We'd like to go with you. Yes. Before you say anything, Captain, we both very much want to be a part of your journey. I can offer you so much in this sector, Captain. Need a guide, supplies, contacts, and a cook? Oh, you haven't lived until you've tasted my Angler-Bosk. But more of that, Captain. I can be your morale officer. Keep those spirals bright on this long voyage home. I have a feeling you will need that. A guide, a cook, and a morale officer. That's quite an offer, Mr. Neelix. And Cass, what about you? What do you hope to gain from this journey? I want to see the galaxy. There's so much out there I don't know, so much to explore and discover. Perhaps this journey could help me understand my own telepathic abilities better, learn more, develop them. But I also want to help. After the doctor cured my wounds, I realized I want to help people too. Maybe I could learn from him, assist in sickbay. I think the doctor will be glad to have you. Very well then, welcome aboard. Captain, you might want to see this. Looks like we've stirred up a little trouble. In a good way, I think. Unexpected guests. A sudden distress call reveals Voyager's victory over Jabin spot a mass escape from the cave on slave camp. Janeway wastes no time in ordering the desperate survivors to be beamed aboard. Neelix is surprised to find another Talaxian, Zibian, who was captured while exploring the Acampa landscape. Gratefully joins the growing crowd. Zibian, who was captured while exploring the Acampa landscape, gratefully joins the growing crowd of survivors seeking the doctor's care. Plus 13 crew. Alright everybody, listen up. Deliver speech, overcome differences, unite as one, stand strong as one crew, defend ourselves, unite, explore the unknown and learn. Let's explore the unknown and learn. We're alone in an uncharted part of the galaxy, ripe for scientific discovery. We face the unknown with open minds, eager to explore and learn. To survive, we must work together as one crew. Chart new territories, seek solutions, explore but duty calls us home, explore but fight our way home. Let's chart new territories. As the only Starfleet vessel in the Delta Quadrant, we'll continue to chart new territories and unravel the secrets of this region. But our objective is to return home. 75 years is unacceptable. We will innovate. Let's never give up. We'll search for shortcuts and new technologies to get us home faster. Somewhere along this journey, we'll find a way back. Well spoken, Captain. Mr. Paris, you've proven yourself a skilled pilot and a valuable member of this crew. I hereby appoint you as our flight control officer. For the first time in my life, I don't know what to say. Perhaps a state you would like to embrace more frequently from now on, Lieutenant Paris. Lieutenant Paris has a nice ring to it, don't you think? Hey Harry, I bet your own promotion is just around the corner. Oh, you sick fucks. How to twist the knife. How to twist the knife. Poor Harry. We all know that Harry, the golden child of the Voyager, never once receives a promotion, and you just have to twist the knife like that. Oh, how dare you? How you knew what you did there. You knew what you did. Very well, gentlemen. As first official act in your new position, Lieutenant Paris, set a new course. We're flying home. Home. Okay. Captain, you've reached the end of the demo. You've made the brave choice to destroy the Caretaker's array, stranding your crew far from home for the greater good. The real adventure starts now. Okay, so final thoughts on Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown. Potential is the word that springs to mind. I think there's a lot of potential here. Obviously, taking into consideration that I'm playing this on PC, my laptop is atrocious. It's old. It struggled to play this and record at the same time. But you know, for the most part, I liked what was on offer. I think there's a lot of good here. I do wish it had some kind of voice acting, even if it was you know, just sound alikes. And you know, devs, if you want to hit me up, you just heard my amazing voice acting there. I'll hit up some lines for you. But yeah, I mean, I liked what I saw. I do still have my concerns that some of the gameplay elements, particularly around the combat and the mission system, isn't robust enough to hold the game. Especially when that's such a main factor alongside the management. Pardon me. Especially when that's such a main aspect alongside the management situation, and you know, the rebuilding the ship and managing the crew, which is an element I really liked. I like that it seems like there's going to be some tough choices to make. You're going to have to focus on the specific builds, specific paths. You're going to have to cut options out. You're not going to be able to do everything, and you're going to get rewarded and punished for that. So yeah, I'm eager to see more. I think if I do end up getting this game, it is likely going to be on PlayStation, on the PS5. My laptop, it's getting old, it's struggling. I want to experience the game properly in a way that's going to be enjoyable and not a stressful experience. But that's on me. I do have concerns that maybe although it is releasing on consoles, it's maybe not going to be thought about how finicky some of those systems are going to be on console. There's a lot of menus to navigate, but we'll see. If I do end up picking it up, I'll do a review on it on the time. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good here. There's some things that have me worried that it's not going to be able to have the oomph to keep going as a full release. It does have elements that feel kind of mobile gamey, as I say, because that mission system is so reminiscent of Star Trek Timelines. It's clear that the game is taking a lot of influence from various different Star Trek games in the past, and that's not a bad thing. You know, you've got to utilize what's come before and try and innovate on it and improve on it. And that's where my concern is, that there's not enough there's not enough innovation, there's not enough going forward. But the dialogue was good. Obviously, we spotted along the way some kind of missed words, you know, spelling mistakes and things like that. So it needs another pass. But the writing seemed good. I enjoyed what was going on. I'm hoping they're going to add a lot more to some of the missions and to some of the stories. Though this demo does focus on just the first two-parter of the series, it does seem like there's a lot cut, and you probably could have got a lot more dialogue in there. You could potentially, there's a lot of avenues to tell some interesting stories, to expand on the stories that have come before, to give you various different options and alternatives, and that's a lot of work. So it does make me concerned that maybe there's not going to be enough variety in this. But yeah, you know, I mean, I'm still optimistic. I'm still kind of looking forward to this and seeing where it's going, and I'm still excited to play the game. So that was a good demo. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I want to see more. So yeah, it was good. What can I say? It was good. It's a new team, new devs as far as I'm aware, so yeah, good on them, good luck. I really hope it sells well and it does a good job. There's a clamoring for more Star Trek games, and I'm all for there being more variety and more to actually play, so well done. Happy to play this, happy to support. So yeah, I think let's leave it there. This has been going on for quite some time now, so thank you for watching. I hope to try and do more of these kind of like demo playthroughs, kind of first impressions of games. It's going to be somewhat reliant on whether or not my laptop can handle filming and recording at the same time. Recently on the channel I uploaded a playthrough of SpongeBob SquarePants, the Titans of the Tide. I enjoyed that demo, but I'm not super happy with the quality of me recording audio via the PlayStation. I don't have an adequate setup in my flat to have a capture card or anything like that at the moment. That's something I'm looking into. So we'll see how it goes. You know, if you like this video, if you like this playthrough, if you like the style of it, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you think you're going to pick up this game, what your thoughts of it from watching me play, from watching other people play are. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye bye.